Reading the world always precedes reading the word, and reading the word implies continually reading the world. Pedagogy of the oppressed. Ping doesn't play roulette. By Dwayne Dawkins. Imagine school as a casino. The brochures say it's fair. Everyone spins the same wheel. Anyone can win. But Bourdieu would whisper, it isn't roulette. The odds are already set. The chips are cultural capital, stacked unevenly, passed down across generations. And the house? The house writes the rules. Now meet Ping. She's 10 years old, leaving Chengdu for Edmonton. At home, Mandarin, family proverbs, grandparents' wisdom. At school, English, textbooks, and the silent rules you only learn by watching. Who gets praised and who gets shushed. Ping carries 3 quiet powers. Aspirational capital. That stubborn hope her parents tucked into a single suitcase. Linguistic capital. The ability to switch codes to translate whole worlds. And resistant capital. The courage to speak when a story is told wrong. Grade 6 Social Studies. The lesson is China. The textbook? Old. The pictures? Older. Showcasing dirty alleys, heavy smog, captions that sound like a raised eyebrow. A few students snicker. Ping raises her hand. China isn't like that, she says. I live there. She paints a different picture. Wide boulevards, grandparents dancing in morning parks, math clubs and dusty classrooms filled with chalk and laughter. But the field, the classroom, has its rules. The teacher, shaped by earlier lessons and older narratives, leans back on the textbook. Let's stick to what the material says, she answers. Laughter flickers again, the wheel spins, Ping's chips are swept aside. Not because she lacked ability, but because her cultural capital, her knowledge, her way of knowing, didn't count here. That moment is symbolic violence, when a dominant story makes another person's truth feel like a disruption. Ping goes quiet, not because she has nothing to say, but because the rules say her voice doesn't pay out. The thing is, the traditional view of cultural capital, highbrow tastes, Shakespeare quotes, orchestra programs, misses what Ping carried into class. Following an expanded critical view, certain questions come to mind. What criteria are we really rewarding? Who wrote them? And who gets pushed aside when we pretend the wheel is neutral? Later, Ping hears about the best junior high in town. I want to see how far I can go, she tells her parents. She takes the test. She gets in, that's aspirational capital at work. But even there, she learns a quieter lesson. To succeed, she may be asked to critique her parents' homeland, in a language that doesn't even have a word for who she is. Between worlds. If school isn't roulette, then teachers aren't dealers. They are rule makers. And reconstruction means more than adding Chinese New Year to the calendar. It means interrogating habitus. Ask, what stories did we inherit about who is credible? Revise the field. Make space where Ping's knowledge is the text. Broaden the ledger. Count aspirational, linguistic, and resistant capital in our rubrics. On purpose, not by accident. The promise isn't that every spin wins. It's that the game itself changes. When Ping speaks, we pause the wheel. We set down the old deck and we say, teach us. Then we rewrite the rules, so her knowledge is not an interruption, but the curriculum.